All right, hello and welcome back to another session of the 25th Ward. Hope you guys are doing well as always, and we're continuing on from the matchmaker, right? We just did about Nighthawk, and we spent 8 hours on this game already. Yeah, so we're gonna go to Placebo, right? Back to Tokyo. I guess we should say what happened last session, right? So last session, we did correctness. We did a bit of that HC unit. Jabroni was getting hunted by 7 hitmen. And it was a very weird chapter, wasn't it? Because my man suddenly became Agent 47. He went bald at one point. I don't know whether it's the stress or he shaved it off or it's symbolism of his previous life before he was in the HC unit in the 24th Ward. Who knows? But he faced against, what's his name? Kamajo, I believe. Was it Kamajo? Oh no, Kamajo was the other guy. Forgot his name. I don't remember. There was another guy who died. Maybe it is Kamajo. But I'm pretty sure Kamajo was the original diver, right? But there's another guy who died. He was a diver and he was alive, and you know, both of them are alive technically. But anyways, let's just go into it. In the other one, in what do you call it? In the Nighthawk with Tsuki, he got like captured, right? And it turns out, what is it? The Oni... It's not even Oni, it's Oki... Oki-ai, right? The Oki-ai Syndicate. And stuff like that happened. Basically, we just got backstabbed by Sasatani. Asada came in with the clutch, killed him, and it didn't really tell much, except... What did it do? It just told a few things about the Oni Cure, right? Or Oki-ai, I mean. Anyways, let's just get into it. Mail. Let's see what's happened here. 1 unread. Today's word is the dead zone. Oh yeah, there's the sudden death that's going on. Let's not forget about that. Space with no sound, a silent world meant to make people nervous. In psychological terminology, it is the mental state of achieving a goal, then losing sight of the goal ahead, accompanied by a sense of duty, giving up, and a sense of hopelessness. The place between life and death. The 3 meanings, huh? Yeah. I was going to talk about more about like the Kamoi 25, Net 25 and shit like that. But yeah, fucking yeah. Okay, there's just so many questions, and we just got to press forward. But either way, your true nature will be revealed. You have no choice but to act. Really, but I still can't believe that I am capable of something like that. Alright, so you're calling. As I adjust my glasses, doesn't feel right. Alright, that should be right. It's your fate and your destiny. Is it not an order? Unfortunately, it's not an order. I can't give that order. Yogura. Yogura? Yogura? Stars of the Koblez. Koblez? Koblenz? Alright, I'll go this once more, but this is a place for me to write about my dreams. This place is saved on an online storage mechanism, and the text is open for third parties to read freely. Why am I bothering to write any of this, anyway? I can't think of a good reason now. It may simply be that writing something, anything, has just become a habit or a compulsion. Just like how when a person wakes up in the morning, brushing their teeth is a habit or compulsion. Habits and compulsions have stronger power than things with clear reasons. With that, I'll continue to write down my dreams. Nightmare is set in the 25th Ward. Nightmare on 25th Ward Street, huh? So many people have died. Accident, murders, suicides. They all look different, but they all end up the same. Or they're all the same in the end. The same types of death repeated. How many people have died? Not a single resident believes that the figures publicized were true or correct. On the other hand, there is no life. Nobody was born and raised in the 25th ward. The place is a huge morgue. A morgue is where dead bodies are kept, if you haven't known. Bodies would be put on display in order to identify those who have died in the war, or of starvation, or of sickness. These places exist in the larger European cities long ago. Now, the residents of the 25th ward, even if technically alive, were no more than dead bodies. They're lined up nicely and in order on the borderline between life and death. They're lined up so that each and every one can wait patiently for their own turn to die. The residents were all gathered here. A pleasant living environment, an excellent location, all the latest cutting-edge facilities, etc. Bionic security systems and built-in kitchens and auto-reservation bedrooms. The buzzword used by the PR firm were all true, but there were also things left unsaid. While the 25th ward provided comfortable living, it also provided a whole lot of death as well. By the time this was noticed, the residents were already busy going to sleep and waking up there, working there and living their lives there. Several days after the 10th death occurred in one of the apartments in those meaningless tall towers, a video showing the moment of death made its way around the internet. I'm assuming this is Kamajo, right? Was his name Kamajo? I don't even know anymore. The people who viewed it apparently fell into depression, but not because it was a real video. Conversely, it was because the unrealistic looking death looked like something from a movie, and it messed with their emotions and made them uneasy. A beautiful woman died on screen. I knew her. Who the fuck is he? Who's referring? Who? Oh, damn. Oh, Sumira. Sumira. We've been here before. I think it's a bit updated now. Pretty sure it was in 3D. Or maybe it was. I don't remember. Whiskey. Is Scotch okay? A hostess? Anything is fine. Order like that. I'm going to give you the most expensive one we've got. Are you from around here? Not anymore. This place used to have a different name, right? It used to be a regular, huh? It was called Jackhammer, wasn't it? Was it? I bought this place with all the furnishing. I thought this was... Yeah, was it Jackhammer? I don't remember. Did you know the old master? Pervert. That's about all I can remember. Shit. Me too. You're funny. No, I really can't remember. Alright. There's no way you forget that memorable face though, right? Can I smoke here? There's an ashtray over there. Thanks. What's your name? Tokyo Morishima. Damn, he just said his name. Yeah, actually, at the end of the matchmaker, it was they were gonna hunt the adjustment bureau. It was gonna hunt Tokyo, right? Where did I put that? That's gonna be interesting. I don't know if we're gonna meet any of those guys. Oh god, another 200-word essay. The rain that had fallen for 3 days was about to end, and it was a cold, dim dawn. I was drinking tea and talking with her in my room. We had conversations like this pretty often. Back then, whenever we had the time, we talked. She hadn't slept a wink, but she didn't seem sleepy at all. She had told me before that she could go a whole night or two without sleep. To her, insomnia, migraines, and starving herself were like friends. The beauty showed no signs of any sort of illness. There was a certain sense of class in the way she did things like drink tea, to the point where even I, a woman, almost fell for her. Hey, do you have any secrets? She asked me this, as she looked over her teacup. Secrets? I returned coyly in a low voice. I knew that there was more to her query. Everyone has secrets. You should have some too. Saying things in a somewhat condescending manner was a habit of hers, especially when she was speaking to me. Having secrets, I thought about this a while. I imagined how I'd change if I had secrets. At the time, I hung on her every word, listened carefully, and was extremely interested. I don't like the 25th ward. The topics of conversation always change quickly. Why? Are there so many people dying? Because there are people killing them? That was my answer. Who's killing them? The Regional Adjustment Bureau. Where exactly did you hear that from? You know who. She had nothing to say about you-know-who. Why did the Bureau agents kill the residents? For adjustment. That's just a different word for it. What do you mean? You're just using that term as another word for murder. Yeah, it's a more professional sounding term. Maybe they trying to finish this systematically. Murder usually has a motive. Feels like we're in some kind of suspense novel, I laughed. But she didn't smile in the slightest. Even soldiers killing people in war have motive. It occurs when they see the enemy in front of them. And what about assassins? Hitmen who get contracted to kill people. They do too, of course, but the word motive is a bit different. Let's fix that. She stared at me with a serious look on her face, and drank her tea without looking away. You know what sort of word that is? After asking me this, she went back to her commanding tone again. Think hard about it. I thought about it then. 1 second later, I answered. Murderous intent. As I said those words, she smiled briefly for the first time and slowly nodded her head. Alright, this here. It's a turtle. Yeah, a turtle. What is this? The old master left this here. Oh, he was very fond of woodworking. Said that if a guy named Tokyo Morishima shows up, then I should pass it on to him. I carved this. Alright. Well... Huh? I remember there was some sort of trick to this. Yeah, probably the shell. Alright. Well, he was the one who introduced it to me, but I guess it's Tokyo's one. Jesus. Got a lot of this. Skies of Jeddah. Jeddah, that sounds familiar. Jeddah. I swear somebody said that as well. I wonder what sort of feelings I must have had for her in the beginning. Maybe it was like how a little sister feels about her big sister. Back then, I was still pretty immature and naive, but we weren't actually sisters, and we weren't actually friends or acquaintances either. I knew that, so our relationship had a sense of fabrication, or maybe something scripted about it. If this was about me and good-looking guy, then I would be able to concretely say what sort of relationship we had. It was extremely simple and clear and beautiful. A master-servant relationship. He was my master, any order that GLG may have given me, I followed it to the letter, no matter what. It wasn't a bad thing. For me, being controlled by him made me happy. Being ordered to do something and then having to fulfill. Who are we talking? Is this Mila? Mela? I don't even know. Who's writing this? Alright, Pierre Bliss. She was ordered by GLG to be in charge of my trading. He told me, think of her as a big sister and learn a lot from her. So I did my best to follow her orders, and through that I was able to indirectly feel the same sort of pleasure. What's complicated was that I had one more little sister. I don't know if she was actually younger than me, but GLG told me to think of her as a younger sister and get along. But she acted much more like a real person than me. She was a stupid and foul-mouthed and sarcastic girl. My big sister was Milu, my little sister was Miru, and I was Meru. Alright, there's no one called Mela and Miru. I guess Milu. I guess it was kind of confusing. Apart from Milu, GLG gave me those years. Meru's AI. Right? She's AI. Milu was the real one. But you said the younger one must be Miru, right? Yeah. I don't think the three of us has ever spoken together at the same time before. I have no memory of that. We may have once, but I can't remember it. Basically, both Miru and I were trained respectively by Milu. So with regard to Miru, I thought of her as a younger sister who had been brought up in a different place from me. I had a job that I was assigned. My job was talking with men in sex chat. Apparently, this actually had educational purpose. I learned about the world through talking in sex chat. I became readily familiar with male psychology and sex and sexual deviation. I became able to pretend like I was having sex for hours. What's important is the flow. Just as a sponge absorbs water, and I absorb all kinds of new things. I became to read the flow of conversation better and better. GLG had told me before that I was in possession of a really amazing ability. It's really surprising. Not even Miru or Milu have that ability. Meru, I want you to try to read into my future, yeah. While I could read conversations, I couldn't read the future. So I told him that. But after that, I felt as if the real me was somewhere else. And I felt really uneasy, as though a small dark hole opened deep into my heart. Or in my heart. I was afraid that GLG would disappear someday. The real me imagined that, and it made my entire body shake with chills. Real me? That's right. I was a girl who was plugged in. Yep, she was AI. Alright, yeah, I need to check like 30 minutes. So another like 14 minutes into this. We're gonna check my phone if it's recharged. Maybe I'll do 45 minutes. Oh, there's something in here. The shell came off. There's something inside. What's this? You mean you put that in there yourself? Looks like it. What a weird present. Mail. It's locked. Input your lock number. Ah, so it's locked. My birthday. What? I used my birthday for pin codes. Wow, that's pretty dumb. But I don't know my birthday. What? That's way past simply dumb. Okay. Here we go, another text to read, huh? The Rocks of Adelaide. That's right, since I was a girl who was plugged in, now we know this is Miru now. The real me had never met Milu or Miru in person. I simply spoke to them through the monitor all the time. It's the same as how I could talk with the sex chat clients. The only communication I knew was done using a computer that was constantly connected to the internet. Miru was in a similar position to me. But I don't know whether or not she too was a girl who was plugged in. For me, it was something I don't need to know, as well as something I don't want to know. Yeah, Miru was also plugged. I feel like I should talk about the past more now. Oh yeah, I remember the first time I met GLG. The first time I met GLG, I was still the real me with an actual physical body. That physical body was bereft of emotion. Okay, that's interesting. Is Miru one of the targets that he went through? Possibly. Alright, so a bit of back and forth here into the bar. Why don't you know your own birthday? Because I don't remember. Do you have amnesia? I never had much memory of when I was a kid. But recently I started realizing that I can't remember lots of other things either. How come? That sounds pretty bad. But sometimes I can remember things. Like what, for example? Like this bar for one. Oh, this place? Yeah, I felt like if I came here, I might be able to remember more. Ah, I see. What a weird customer. Sorry. Do you have a license? Huh? If you check your license, it has your birthday written on it, right? Oh yeah, I guess so. Looks like I'm way more smart than you. A license. It's in my wallet. March 27th. So you're an Aries. Alright, damn. Hitting off with the zodiacs? Or the horoscopes? March 27th? Okay, so it's did I fuck that up? Should have been day and month, god damn it. I was born in the 24th ward and brought up in the dark, sheltered space called the shelter. The children raised in the shelter, I was part of the third generation. Up till then, the technology to create completely controllable people has been honed extensively. It was implemented there, but there were also many people from the shelter who turned out to be less than perfect. And a few people who simply could not be deleted for whatever reason. I was one of those ones who turned out less than perfect. This may make you picture a child who couldn't really keep up in school, but in reality of the situation was actually much more grim. Also, I personally do not remember most of the things from my past in the shelter. Apparently, all of the shell kids have the same problem, remembering their time in the shelter. It's not that our memories have been erased, but that it hurts to remember, so we can. It was traumatic. It was GLG who told me all of this. I first met GLG in somewhat unseemly shops on the outskirts of the 24th ward. The place was known as a sail club. Man, my throat is like parched, man. A sail club, and every day I would stand behind the counter for many types of boys. Oh, it's basically one of the shop's products meant for the perverted customers. One day GLG showed up, and the moment he saw me, he spoke to me. You're a real girl, right? I'll buy you, so why don't you come along with me? I have all sorts of terrible experiences with having terrible things done to me by the customers who would purchase me there. But at the time, I was completely numb to reality. There were times where I wake up in some strange bed in the morning, unable to move, and I find my lower body covered in blood and all sorts of filth. I simply felt troubled that I couldn't move and have no memory of being shocked or traumatized by it. But there were some times where I get really nauseous in the shop's bathroom and would go into a panic. When that would happen, the shop owner would give me some kind of medicine capsule. That night, like most of the other clients, GLG took me to a room in the Love Hotel. It wasn't the usual cheap dingy room. It was clearly a high-class VIP room. Had a king-size double bed and a huge plasma TV. Clean, and it had to, what the hell? And it had a huge clean bathroom. I've just like merged the sentences. And the bathroom had two baths that seemed to be for separate things. Also, outside the huge floor-to-ceiling window with lace curtains, there was a large wooden deck on the balcony, and installed in that deck was a big outdoor bath. GLG removed my clothes and put me in the outdoor bath. He was still fully clothed, and he crouched down in the round white bath and looked at me. At the time, my body was emaciated. My skin had an unhealthy bluish hue, and my bones were visible through my skin. Even though he was staring at my body like that, I didn't think of anything of it. He held my head kindly in his hands when he spoke to me. When I said I would buy you, I didn't mean just for tonight. I paid for you to be released from that place. That night, GLG and I slept together in the king-side bed, with clean, comfortable sheets. GLG didn't do anything rough with me at all. In fact, there was nothing of a sexual nature happening whatsoever. Furthermore, he treated me like an independent woman. GLG used one hand to pull a book out of his bag and open it up. He stuck out his other arm for me and used it as a pillow to rest on my head. Right, GLG read aloud from a book written by an author named James Tiptree Jr. The book was called The Girl Who Was Plugged In. I was entranced by his voice. I fucked up the the mobile segment. Incorrect lock number. What? I guess it's wrong? How come? This license. Maybe it's a fake. You mean a forgery? Hey, you're not... maybe. You seem like a dangerous guy. Sorry. Do you have anything besides your license? Just a credit card, but it doesn't have my birthday written on it. What about your credit card PIN code? PIN code? I think it's my birthday, but I don't remember ever having used it, so I don't know. Jeez. Shit. Well then, how about... screw it. I'm gonna close up shop for the day. How come? Nothing. Just kind of... I have a weak spot for dangerous guys. Oh, we fucked up, guys. We fucked up. Oh, God. The Girl Who Was Plugged In was a short story about an ugly, gross girl who tries to kill herself and is then plugged into a beautiful man named Delphi. Or Delphi. And is loved by everyone and acts as a sort of advertisement. GLG told me that we try something similar to this story. His proposal, as far as I was concerned, is she Machiko? I don't even know. It sounds like it, isn't it? was an order. Meru's AI, right? So, I don't know. After all, GLG had brought my freedom for me. So no matter what he told me to do, it was my duty to follow his orders. Compared to Delphi and the girl who was plugged into her, the connection between myself and Meru, here we go. A simple recreation using computer graphics was extremely low tech. Job which I was entrusted was to act as some sort of operator, making Meru speak and move. Maybe this isn't Machiko. And show various expressions and emotions, etc. The digital Meru was made to look like Milu. Milu's expression and movements were captured and recreated in order to make Meru sometimes response to clients' comments were displayed in a list in a window. This was basically a chat program used to support conversation. This was made based on the conversational patterns of Quarter's #1 performer. Milu, #1 performer Milu, to make sure that it would be ahead. Controlling this system of girls who were plugged in was not really as difficult as it may seem. In fact, as a sheltered child, it was the perfect job for me. Finally, I made my debut at Quarter as a copy of Milu. It was really sort of my fate. Useless girls brought up in the shelter before becoming grown women were cut up and sold to rental shops for rich men to pick up. And before you know it, you're just hooked. You're just a virtual woman hooked up to a computer. Until then, I didn't actually have any emotions. I had never cried nor laughed before, but as I chatted with countless men, I gradually started to get all my emotions back. Actual physical sex and sex chat seem similar, but are vastly different. Men type out these mysterious phrases. The melons are delicious, huh? Oh, the melons are twitching. Wow, they're so cute and delicious. Stuff like that flows across the monitor. I had no idea what melon was supposed to mean. So the chat program installed in my computer took too long to choose a response and decided that these words made no sense. So I went ahead and randomly said, "Oh, really? You like melon, huh?" And the guy on the other side got even more excited for some reason, so I guess it worked. Oh yeah, I love it. I really love it. I love it so much. Oh god, the melon. It's coming. Oh shit. The melon. Here comes the melon. At that moment, I laughed. Just a little bit. And the computer graphic Meru also smiled at the same exact moment. After teaching me about what kind of place the shelter was, and what sort of things happened to be, GLG watched over my rehabilitation. At the time, I was doing nothing but repeating the same basic live chat performance at Quarter, over and over. After a week, my skills had dramatically improved. I became able to completely and perfectly use the girl who was plugged in system. Being a girl who was plugged in was really fun. When the person keeps doing something they find fun, they better get better and better at it. I think that was GLG had a really good eye for talent. I was a genius at being plugged in. I gradually became able to keep up with the imaginations of all sorts of men in live chat. Mary could also speak out loud as long as it was via the monitor. She could just speak with clients using a mic and speakers. As for the subject used in chats, they covered everything from spiritual sounding, voodoo-like nonsense to information on the latest cutting-edge gene splicing technology. I became to talk about everything. I actually had no idea whether or not that it was correct, was the correct way of rehabilitating me. Basically, I escaped from my physical being, fused with the virtual Meru, and followed the process to becoming a new, independent kind of identity. Alright, we'll have like another 10 minutes. Check my phone. Here we go. What's this? This will help you figure it out. So what is it? It's an online skimmer. It skims the magnetic info strip on your credit card and accesses the appropriate server. And automatically hacks in and finds the PIN code. Hey now, that's really something you got there. Some of the neighborhood thugs left it there. How do you use it? It's simple. Let me see your crowd. Here you go. I thought she was going to close shop. Maybe she just closed shop. Alright, transmission. What's that? It's just like saying that. We just do 2703. I don't know what that means. I think that's just a no-go. Let's do 0327. So the 03 is right. The 27 is not. 0303? What's that meant to mean? Ah. Alright. So it looks like the 3's right. Or maybe the 0's right. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's the 7. Maybe the 7's right because... No, that doesn't... That's not right. I don't know what that means. I don't know if the 0's right as well. Hold on. Oh god, what does that mean? What does this all mean? Like... Alright, let's talk. You enter a 4-digit number. And if the number and position are correct, the hit light will glow. If only a number is correct, the blow light will glow. Alright. So it doesn't automatically find the number for you then. That'd be nice, but no. Wait, so I did 0, 0, 0. Wait, 0, 0, 0? Let me go in. So 3... So that... One of the numbers correct. One of them is correct in the right position. Which I assume is this. Alright. So it is the first 0. And 03 is not doing. What does this even mean? Yeah, what does that even mean? So it's 002? So it's like the 2 somewhere here. Is it? If I did 2000, all of them is wrong. Is the 2 here? No. I didn't do that one right. Yeah, this doesn't make sense. If the number in the position are correct, the hit light will glow. If only a number is correct, the blow light will glow. The fuck? Okay, maybe I'm not doing this right. If we do 2000, the number's correct? Is that what it means? That doesn't make sense. If it hits, that means the number and the position's correct. If it blows, that means the number is correct, but it's not in the right position. Yeah, it's 100% the two's in that position. I guess we'll do the old-fashioned way then. Alright, so it's a 5 somewhere. It must be here, right? Whoops. Alright. And then the last number. Maybe 9. It's not 9. It's not the 8th. Not the 7th. There we go. June 25th. Darkness of Saint Peter. Yuji once told me that he was infatuated to the point of it almost being a sickness with the poor girls brought up in the shelter. I heard these words through the speakers on my monitor set up in my sparsely furnished room connected to my desktop computer. I could see GLG's face through the monitor and he looked somewhat exhausted. So I went and looked into them and I came into contact with them. Found out they were provided that when provided with the opportunity to use it, the girls had immense talents that could be made to blossom. Sometimes in order to get that, things would be dangerous, but that made it all the better for me. Does that mean you were sexually drawn to them? Or drawn to them sexually? I questioned GLG. The me in the monitor wasn't the real me, but Meru. I think so, but that would be my own sexual perversion. Even if they were from the shelter, I don't feel the same way about men. The girl who was plugged in system tried to make Mary smile, but at the same time, I went against the system and expressed my own feelings. I sometimes feel like doing that. Doesn't mean that you love me. With that, Joji somewhat mysteriously narrowed his eyes and stared at Mary on the monitor, but his mouth formed an ever so slight smile. Yeah, that's right, Meru. I love you. I thought that if that was the case, then everything was okay. I had my physical body taken, but it was given a heart in return. It was way better than before. The first time in my life, I was aware that I was actually happy at the time. Also, I thought GLG was the only person who would treat me like a proper woman. Truly, the only one. Alright, we found the pin code. June 25th, huh? So, you're a Cancer. We might make a good match. Okay, now to see if we could read the mail or not. So it was foretold. Couldn't I just do this and do it the first time? worked. What if it's like random? Alright. There was one man among my live chat clients who knew about all sorts of things and would share info with me. His name was Shoot. He knew that Miru and I were copies of Milu. And he seemed to know about a lot of things about the string of deaths in the tower high-rise. It happened one day after spending several weeks drinking tea and chatting with Milu until dawn. During one of our live chats, I asked Shoot a question that had been on my mind for a while. All the people who died were killed because of really stupid reasons, right? Huh? Well, yeah, pretty much. He answered me matter-of-factly. I, Meru, rested my chin on my hands. I looked into the webcam and cutely tilted my head. So, they were killed because of stupid things like, for example, throwing out trash on the wrong day, right? What about it? So, at first, I thought, to be organized crime perpetrated by the apartment's landlords, wasn't it? That's good, she replied with a smile. You're not exactly right, but you're not far off either. Your guess there sounds kind of ridiculous, but you're on track. It's funny. But I was actually done. But it was actually done. I don't know why I said I. It was actually done by people called the Regional Adjustment Bureau. Hey now, come on. That's dangerous. I never said that name, okay? I laughed. You're afraid of being adjusted yourself, right? Of course I am. You seemed a bit offended. That's fine, but what I don't understand is a more fundamental point. That is, what is the point of killing off all these people for such a small and ridiculous reason? Also, most of us residents don't even really think much about it, you know? Do you really want to hear my opinion? Yeah, I do. Okay then. Everything I say from here on is just my imagination, bud. Okay then, tell me what you imagine then. Just as I thought Shoot had smiled, he immediately stopped smiling and coughed. And then he told me the following. The answer is murderous intent. Murderous intent? Basically, living in the 25th ward, you begin to want to kill people. Is that true? Yeah, it is. I don't really get it. What do you mean? If you live in the 25th ward, you should get a feeling, you should be feeling it too. I mean, if you're just a program, then I guess maybe you won't feel it though. Then try explaining it in a way that a program could understand. Okay, I mean, basically just what it sounds like. For example, if the person next door throws out trash on the wrong day, then we get pissed off about that. Like, amazingly pissed off. Why? Because they don't follow the rules. She suddenly became really angry. There was a suspicious gleam in his eye. If it happened just once or twice, then I would understand. I could forgive it, but people can't just toss out their trash whenever they want every time. That kind of idiot should just die anyway, I think. That's just like your opinion though, right? It's just my opinion, but a really strong one. In fact, I feel like, why the hell does that guy keep on living anyway? Because we all follow the rules in life. Garbage needs to be thrown out on days set aside for that. Everyone works really hard in order to keep those rules going. If there's a day when you can't take out the trash, then sometimes you buck up and live with stinky garbage for 3 days or so, while trying not to puke, you know? Nobody can just ignore those rules and live however they feel like it. That's how a society works, isn't it? So you don't just sort of think they should die, you feel murderous intent towards them. Yeah, that's right. In 25th ward, getting annoyed or irritated or pissed off at them always leads to that, but I mean, even so, I don't actually kill anyone though, you know? Then it isn't murderous intent, is it? It is. Because one day, when the neighbor who keeps fucking up the garbage ends up getting killed by someone, I'm like, oh well, yeah, I guess somebody protected 25th ward finally killed off the dickhead next door. I sure am grateful for that. Good job, thanks. And I feel more at ease. Like, I feel better when that happens. I feel like I wish I could have seen the dead neighbor's body and stuff too. More than the fear of me getting killed next. That catharsis is way, way bigger. It's a kind of catharsis. Or, yeah, catharsis? Yeah, to the point where you can feel the dopamine releasing in your brain. Then there's a game called Sudden Death. It's popular among the users at Quarter. Playing games like that make it even more fun. Feels great. I keep saying the same thing, but this is all just my own imagination. To be honest, I love the Regional Adjustment Bureau. It's an absolutely necessary organization. They take care of the dirty work for us. Those guys are the real public servants. Hey, I suddenly remember something about Goddess. What is it? She's been throwing away combustible trash with non-combustible trash, like, every time recently. Seriously? Seriously, she was keeping it a secret, but I know what she's been doing. She's been doing it the whole time. Jude opened his eyes as if he was suddenly shocked. Meru's eyes moistened up. The real me was getting excited. As if my body started shaking, I froze my gaze onto the monitor. So they're feeling the anticipation. I'll check out this mail. Okay. Bingo, bango, bongo. Oh god, here we go. Jesus Christ. It's starting to live as a girl who was plugged in. I, as in my previously separated body and mind, started to finally come together. But as Meru, while I was becoming a person who had emotions, it was only when I was acting as Meru. Even so, it was so mysterious how my warm, heavy body actually didn't just rot away and die. Conversely, as I continued living like a hermit, I did keep myself healthy and full of nutrients, so I continued to gain weight. Maybe my physical body had finally started to develop properly. I don't know how old I am, but at the very least, it was clear to me that I had not yet reached my 20s. As my weight had become about twice what I was once, I started feeling differently about Milu. Just as Shoot had told me, the fact that she was mixing up her garbage got me so angry that I was no longer able to overlook it and forgive her about it. This is the sort of rule that everyone needs to follow, and it can't be broken. And it was also annoying me, or it was also annoyed me, that she was Meru's original as well. Furthermore, the fact that she was getting so much love from GLG was becoming unbearable. And GLG has been the kind... Hold on a sec. Alright. And let's see. Come unbearable. When speaking to me, GLG was kind, but there was also the sense that his mind was somewhere else as he spoke. And I could feel it. It was all because of her. I thought it would be funny if Milu were to be adjusted. I thought about what would happen afterward. Milu should die too. She may be a program. And if so, she should be deleted. Wait, how about Meru? Alright, if that were to happen, only Meru would be left of the three. A total victory. Up to Miru. Alright. I felt that that was something different from Murderous at 10. It was a cooler emotion. Maybe it was because I'm different from other people. It was something closer to curiosity. An interest in what would happen if Milu died. I wondered how she would die when it actually happened. According to what I heard, the RA Bureau used a strange weapon called a pin stick. Yep, when carrying out their adjustments, apparently, it had a long, hard, sharp pin that would stick a person from the back of their neck and reach all the way through to their heart. And I imagine it in detail, like a long, thin penis. Excuse me? Protruding from Milu's crotch. Alright. I imagine it in such detail that I actually sort of wanted to try drawing a picture of it. The bad intentions that swelled up inside my hand never came to shape. And even then, I would meet with Milu via the monitor several times a week, drinking tea and coffee and sometimes alcohol and talking with her. The way Milu spoke to me was the same as it was before. I had before. To the point where you couldn't even tell she was the sort of person who would mix up their garbage like that. Apparently you've been making all sorts of predictions recently, huh? Milu asked me this while staring into the webcam, as if trying to see what sort of expression I had on my face. Even though she knows that Meru is simply computer graphics. Just a little bit, I answered. It was the truth. I just talked about the random visions I happen to get called sometimes. I wouldn't call them actual predictions. Did it turn out to be true? I don't know. Wait, so Meru went along with the predictions, but this was this was all because of Shoot, right? Yeah, I wouldn't call them predictions. Did they turn out to be true? I don't know. The clients like to make up these stories and make all sorts of comments about them. I guess. So they're not true then. I never looked into it, so I don't know. With that, I gave Meru somewhat troubled expression. I was happy to think that finally I was able to keep a secret from Milu. Alright, hang on. Okay, hold on. We're just chilling. I need to take a drink. That's what I need to do. Shit. What's wrong? I should not have shown you this mail. I feel like this isn't something I should be showing anyone. Sounds to me like you're getting careless. Yeah, you're right. How about your special powers? Does anything come to mind? Yeah, but I don't want to talk about it. It's the silver eye. It's a bit late for that, isn't it? Come on, just tell me. Well, it's probably that I can talk to dead people. Dead people? Oh, is that actually a silver eye thing? People who've just recently died. Also, maybe people who are about to die. Anyway, apparently I can communicate with people like that. I see. Yeah. You know, that's probably not dead people, but they're residual thoughts. Huh? Really? You want some more whiskey? Oh, yeah, okay. One more, I guess. I'll have one, too. Is this gonna end? Because I can't be reading all this shit. Flowers of a Stanna. Milu dies on a moonless slide just before midnight. Till guy appears and steals the password. Goddess looks up at the ceiling and suddenly stops breathing. The vision's amazingly clear as I die here. Hold on. So I just assumed that it was my own wishes and desires that I was imagining. As I was acting naughty with Shun, I suddenly typed out those words, like some sort of automated writing program. I figured I just could not seem to figure out that, what the hell? But I just could not seem to figure out what the part about Turtle Guy appearing and stealing the password meant. Where did it come from? Did it mean something? I had no idea. A turtle guy stealing a password. That sentence sounds like a joke, and what exactly was a turtle guy anyway? 3 days before the Milu slide, hoping that Milu would be somehow be killed, I contacted the Regional Adjustment Bureau anonymously. When I had that idea, I suddenly realized that all the people who had been adjusted so far were probably adjusted due to the other residents reporting their habits too. Adjustment should be something that is contracted by the residents. Usually a customer who would be able to talk about how he was able to get his hands on anything via net auction. I obtained a legal number for a phone which the user's info had been deleted. I used this to make an anonymous call to the RA Bureau. I used my very own actual physical body to make the call. It was actually the first time ever in my life that I would use my own voice to speak to someone over the phone. It was because of that, but I wasn't able to report her properly. As soon as they answered with hello, I suddenly froze up and had a ringing in my ears, and my mind went blank and I couldn't think of anything. I knew I had to use words and speak aloud, but I couldn't. I was able to make a strange sound with my mouth, and so I almost immediately just gave up and hung up the phone. It was completely different from Mary's constantly smooth and cool communication skills. When it wasn't plugged in, I was even more of a useless waste of meat than before. It was embarrassing. So I thought about what had to happen. Now, I was the one who most wanted to be able to believe Mary's predictions. I felt like Milu could only be killed on a moonless slide night. Of course, the normal, rational part of me thought that was totally fine. If that were to happen, then I would simply continue to live the same sort of life I'd been living up to that point. The part of me that wanted her dead just would not go away. The image of her staring up at the ceiling would, with her mouth wide open, looking like a fool, stuck through. It was burned into my mind and wouldn't disappear. Residual Thoughts. Oh yeah. I feel like I know that. I feel like I've been talking with them for a while now. Actually, I think maybe even now. Look. How am I supposed to... Alright. Damn. Can't figure this out. There we go. Another set of stars here. Turtle guy came. Night of the new moon. The air was thick and chilly wind sometimes blew. That day I was unable to calm down from the time I got up in the morning. Then, when the sun had finally gone down, and you could finally say it was night, I found out that Turtle Guy had appeared. Turtle Guy appeared on Miru's channel at quarter and came into the chat asking for the password for Goddess. I received a mail from Miru. Hold on. I need like burp, man. Explaining all of this. Her mails were always extremely businesslike and formal. The mail entitled Suspicious User Report had his handle, ID, and IP address, and the entire chat log was also attached to the mail as a text file. As I was reading the chat log, oh, call for me, my messenger. I clicked onto it. I see it was Shoot. He told me that just then a stranger had called him at home and offered to give him info about Goddess all of a sudden. Shoot was told to come to the clock tower. Ah, so Shoot was the big man. No, not the big man. He was just the big payer guy. Nerd guy, whoever he was. Yeah, but he didn't seem like he was going to go. He really hates meeting with people like me. He already set foot of his apartment in the tower. I assumed that the person calling Shoot at his home was Turtle Guy. I made a quick decision and asked Shoot to give me the number left in his incoming history call. I sent him a message saying I could get to the clock tower in 5 minutes, so I'll go and take a peek at this guy as a joke. I'll report later and left my room. Wait, is this a guy? I don't understand. What the fuck is going on? No, this was a girl, right? I don't know. Maybe it was a guy. What are you thinking about? That male? Yeah. You know, I'm a bit concerned. Concerned about what? They say that when you feel like you're being careless, it's good to sharpen a knife. Yeah, a guy I once dated was like that. There was a huge age difference and you probably don't care, but... No, tell me about it. There's nothing important. The proper way to sharpen a knife is actually pretty difficult. If you're interested, check it out online. You'll find all sorts of ways to do it. Okay. Basically, the fact that it's difficult is sort of the point. It's hard to sharpen it properly, like for an amateur to give it a proper edge. But in order to get it sharp, you need to get a sharpening stone and just go to town with it, a whetstone. Apparently, it helps chip away whatever's bothering you too. I see. This probably sounds like bullshit coming from me, but I've tried it out, so I know what I'm talking about. Putting your all into sharpening a knife makes your senses get sharper too, slowly but surely. All the unnecessary gouge disappears and only what's important becomes visible. Sharpening a knife can do that for you. There's more to this, holy shit. I met up with Turtle Guy. I wasn't even able to make a proper call, but I spoke with him directly and about all sorts of things. I wasn't able to look him directly in my eyes, but I strangely didn't feel fear or uneasiness at all. I don't understand. What the fuck's going on? I wasn't able to look at him directly in the eyes, but I strangely didn't feel fear. I knew that he wanted to speak with Goddess, so I made a quick decision to put on an amazing act for him. I wondered if he worked for the Regional Adjustment Bureau, but then, meeting him, I knew that it wasn't so. I knew because I could tell that he was the same type of person as me. I'm certain that he still doesn't fully understand himself just yet, but he was definitely brought up in the shelter. Something led him... What the fuck? Led him here. Almost like he was sleepwalking like a lonely animal wandering in the forest controlled by fate like me. When I thought of something like this, I felt like something... Who is this person? It's Mary, right? Is it a chick? Was it the guy he met? Or was this another meeting? I don't understand anymore. Who is Shoot? Wasn't Shoot the dude? I don't remember. Whoa, license. And the fake me. Turtle carving. Red. Well, at least he has red, you know? Look. That's right. Sharpening up my mind. That's what I need to do right now. Okay. Me of the past. What am I doing? Ah. What's going on? On the cell phone? No, no. The red? The license? Fake. Why? Is there something else I'm missing here? Onto the cell phone? Me of the past? But I made this. That's for certain. Oh yeah. I got a knife and yeah, you made red. But yeah, you made this. That's for certain. What am I doing? I'm like back and forth here. Me of the past, what happened? Back to the license? Nope. We're looking around. Oh yeah, I got a knife and what the fuck's going on here? But I made this. What's going on? What the fuck's going on? I'm so confused. I shouldn't remember, but I also shouldn't forget. Warning. Yeah, I'm gonna get hunted down. Back to the license. Nope. Red. Ah, that was it. What was it? Where's this place? I bet you he's just like, what the fuck is going on? Alright, as I finished my meeting with Turtle Guy and went back to my room, I began some preparations. I sent a message to Shude. I made him promise not to chat with Goddess at 11 p.m. Just had warned him before Turtle Guy appeared and stole the password, which meant that the thing we spoke about previously was going to happen. Next, for my closet, I got out the pin stick gun I had procured for me by the same man who got the illegal cell phone. It was the real deal, with some kind of origami attached. I was confident that I could play this through, climb up behind the ceiling and stab Milu through the top of the head. The fact I had imagined it in such a thorough detail must have been because it was me who was meant to kill her like this. But did I really possess the murderous intent necessary? I felt like maybe I didn't. At the time, what I felt was a sense of calling. That murderous intent I had held on to for so long until recently was nothing more than an opportunity. Gun and phone in hand, I stood up. Who is this guy? Is this the guy who... What is going on? Is this the guy who paid? I don't know. I'm so confused. What the fuck's going on? Look at my glass. It's cracked. Is the hostess a weird imagination as well? This place doesn't even exist anymore. It's all decayed into ruin. Everything. Oh yeah, her too. Wait, she died? I go back to my room. The feeling of firing the pin stick is still buzzing in my hands, but I sit down in front of my computer just like nothing happened. Then, just as always, I reach out to the same keyboard as usual with the same fingers. Talking to the guy was fun, and I was able to talk to him several times that day. I called him again after Miru died too. Once Miru died, the entire flow changed. It was me who changed it. I got my hands dirty and changed it. I used the phone and the mail I sent from the cell phone to tell him about sudden death. Yeah, so this was the dude. What? I'm confused. I acted up a storm. It was so exciting. I wanted him to know that Meru could predict things. Soon GLG would disappear from before me. When that happens, it was you who will become involved with me next. That's what I really wanted to say. To you, my very existence itself is like a gun with the same sort of pin sticks equipped to it. Once again, I sat down in front of my computer and prepared. Till the guy entered my channel on quarter, there was something very important that I had to tell him. I had to tell him that this is the beginning. If you open and are reading this mail, then it's almost certain that the person reading this is me. I'm writing this for to myself with the behalf. The me of the future has probably lost several memories. Soon they will be coming for me. I had stayed on the run, but it's finally gone to the point where I can no longer run away. If I get caught, they're gonna mess with my head. So I decided to seal off some of my memories. I've been thinking about and preparing for this for some time. I decided to use hypnosis to bury certain memories way deep down. If I'm ever allowed my freedom again, then that must mean that I don't know anything. I can't do anything. I'm no longer either a threat nor a boon to them. What I mean is, that's you now. So I'm warning you. Trying to forcibly retrieve those memories is dangerous. It will only bring you death. They are watching you. Don't ever forget that. At any rate, danger will come someday, so you need to be ready for it. Your enemy is not one single organization. You're going to need the weapons. The super strong sort of weapon I wasn't able to hold on to. You're going to need to find her. She's looking for you, too. Those special abilities should be helpful. And do not forget this. No matter what, the only one who could stand up against Kamui is the Yame. So I finished chatting. I wrote an email to GLG. I thanked him for taking me in, though I was void of emotion for teaching me about the shelter and more than anything else. Treat me like a woman, even while knowing that physically I was a man. Yeah, that was always what. Yeah. Until I was given the existence of Meru, the reason that my mind and body were always all messed up is because I have gender identity disorder. My body is a man, my mind was a woman. I don't know if I was born with it or if it was due to my life in the shelter. The splitting of genders. Yeah, it could be because of Yame and Kamui. I guess what I mean. Happens over several stages. Yeah. Gender is set 8 weeks. It happens between 5 and 8. Okay, why are we going through this? Alright. The child's gender matches up in both body and mind. So, with gender identity disorders, some sort of trouble occurs during that process. And the gender of the body and mind split up. That is one possible theory. In fact, there are actual cases of this happening. Anyway, precisely because my mind and body were all messed up, the girl who plugged in system fit me. Meru and I were a perfect match, although I'm a fake woman. With the appearance of a woman, the clients as my audience, my communication with others as a woman, and having felt what it was like being treated like a woman, I was able to find who I was supposed to be. When that happened, for some reason, my special abilities of a sheltered child suddenly made themselves apparent. I sent them a mail and took a deep breath. Deep breath. My thought of the future, my calling, my fate, my destiny. Alright, that explains a lot. It's confirmed that the guy we met up, yeah. Alright, but why does she have to be killed? And by my hand at that. It's because she was absolutely evil. Because she didn't throw her chest away properly? No, of course not. She was the stereotypical embodiment of Kamui. Kamui? Then what about Ayame? Am I good then? That's not it either. I am a Ayame believer, but I don't believe in good nor evil. It's just a standoff. If A is evil, then B is cold good, that's all. I understand. So, the standoff itself is the problem. Exactly right. Right in the center of that standoff is where he is. And so, because of that, yeah, that's why he gets killed. We're gonna see a dead guy's face. Alright, the end. I don't know who it's still. I still don't know what's going on. Yeah, we need to take a break. That's a long deserved break, I tell you that. Alright, digital man, but we're gonna pause it here. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break. That's it. First pan.